Hello and welcome to the Doctor's Kitchen with me, Rupi. Today I am with the wonderful Zanna Van Dijk.
Woo! Hi! That's like the most enthusiastic introduction I've ever had.
Zanna, as you probably already know, is an amazing fitness blogger. She's a health and wellness advocate. She's got a book out called
Strong,
obviously, and she has a whole bunch of other amazing projects, some of which I can talk about, some of which I can't talk about, so I'm not going to talk about any because I don't know which one's a secret. But anyway, I have the immense pleasure of interviewing her today and talking to her about her story, how you got into everything. So why don't we start with that? Why don't we tell everyone about how you got into it, what your story is, and where you are right now?
I started to get into fitness at university. I actually studied speech and language therapy at university, the University of Sheffield. Specialised in stroke rehab. I was going to start working in hospitals. We could have been colleagues.
Wow, yeah, we could have.
But times change. So I was studying that, and I actually started to get more and more into my health and fitness when I was there, and I was following all these fitness girls on Instagram. Yeah. Ended up setting my own Instagram. It was private. It was called Blonde Health back in the day.
Nice. Blonde Health.
And I kept it private, but this is 4.5 years ago, and I kind of just grew it over time. I was talking about what I was eating, how I was training. I never really showed my face for the first 18 months. It was just food, really. It just kind of grew, and it got to the point where when I left university 2.5 years ago, there was about 35,000 followers, and I thought, this is quite cool. There wasn't really anybody else in the UK doing it at the time, and I felt like really exciting things were starting to happen. I went on a gap year, and I figured, why don't I just spend this gap year investigating the fitness industry, see how it goes. I became a PT, I moved to London. I had every intention of going back to university and doing a master's in sports nutrition in September. But that year was the year when shit hit the fan. I hope you don't mind me swearing.
No, go for it.
But everything got real exciting.
Yeah.
So I just kind of kept going and didn't look back. So I've actually been working as a PT and a fitness blogger for 2.5 years now, and pretty much a full-time fitness blogger with a little bit of PT for the past 6 months. So yeah, it's been a long journey, 4.5 years, but I'm loving it.
Yeah, and you know, especially considering how young you are so mature and you're really on point, and that's what I do like about you actually, because not only are you're killing it on social media and you've got your book and all the rest of it, but you do bring a real credible approach to fitness training.
Thank you.
And you know, the other aspect to you is that you're this larger than life character on Snap and on Instagram and all this other stuff, but you do have like a real calm, mature side to you as well. Like, where do you, because I remember the last time we had dinner and stuff, you were talking to me about like how you want to bring a more positive approach to wellness and positivity, particularly with your girl gains and everything else in your other businesses.
Yeah, so I feel like I personally am somebody who's very conscious. I feel like Rupi and I are both, we like to talk a little bit about mindfulness and meditation, which people find very intimidating. They don't like to talk about it, but that is a huge part of my life. And I'm very self-reflective, and I really want to consciously spread positive vibes. So a lot of what I do is based around positivity. So I talk a lot on my own personal events, personal posts, personal videos about self-confidence, self-love, concepts like that, positivity and self-reflection. And also through Girl Gains, which is an events company I co-own with my two best friends, Tally and Vic. We have ambassadors all over the globe, from Sydney to America, and we do local events which are basically about educating, empowering and inspiring women, and we mainly talk about goal setting, ambition, and again, body confidence and positivity. So a lot of what I do is based around those concepts, and I think those concepts and those projects which are related to them are the things which I'm the most passionate about. So it's all very exciting.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant, and that is so well needed in this wellness industry, because I think a lot of self-esteem issues come out of Instagram. There's been a lot of negative press about the use of things like social media with photos and stuff, and it's really important to keep that aspect as well, especially when you've got a massive audience of very young, impressionable women as well, right?
Oh yeah, I definitely feel very aware of the fact that I have an audience of people who do listen to what I say and do care about what I say, so I try and be very aware of what I'm posting and make sure that it has a positive influence on them.
Totally, and I think this whole concept of responsible influencing is something that myself obviously, but other people are really getting involved in engaging, and I think it's it's super interesting.
And that's why I think it's so important for people like us to collaborate.
Definitely.
Because then we're putting two minds together, and obviously two minds are better than one, so I can learn from him.
Good maths there, yeah.
But I can can learn from Ruthie, Ruthie can learn from me, and we can support each other and we can educate each other's followers about what the other person knows. So
Totally.
that's why I think it's really important for people like us to collaborate like we're doing right now.
Exactly. And I think, yeah, you're right. This positive collaborative approach is something that I'm trying to encourage, particularly with the medical profession, that has been perhaps, in the past dismissive of the wellness industry and dismissive of things like exercise, and its use in health promotion and depression and things like that, and in mental health. So yeah, that brings us nicely on to a topic that you're an expert in.
Oh, okay.
Fitness and how to incorporate this on a daily basis, because I have personally struggled in the past to keep to a regime, or I've experimented with different sort of gym activities, what is better for my body, etc. So what I think would be really useful for a lot of the viewers and listeners is your tips on how to motivate yourself to get into a healthy exercise regime, and what sort of hacks or tips that you've come across with your own clients or with yourself as well over the last few years.
Is this in general, or is this for busy people like you?
Why do we do it for busy people? Because a lot of people are busy in London.
Yeah, I feel like we live in the busy city. So yeah, I think a really important tip for motivation is to actually think about what your goals are and what your actual motivation is for training. And I think it's important to self-reflect and make sure that your motivation is intrinsic rather than extrinsic. So it's coming from within. You want to do this for you and not for anybody else. You're not doing it because you want to impress your boyfriend or you want to look great for the girls on holiday. That could be motivation for some people, but if you really want to have lasting motivation, you need to look internally and be doing it for your health, or because you want to feel good, you want to feel strong, you want to look after your body because you care for your body. Try to not do it from a negative place, try and do it from a positive place, and that's ultimately going to give you lasting motivation. Sorry if you can hear the man trimming the grass in the background, because we cannot control him.
Just today of all day. Who does it on a Tuesday?
Who trims the garden on a Tuesday afternoon?
Wait for Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, what was I saying? I got distracted by the strimmer.
All I can think about is strimming or not. Why didn't he do it yesterday? It was a bank holiday yesterday.
Yeah, it's like, I'm trying to film a video. Okay, so prioritization, I think when it comes to being busy and trying to fit in exercise, you have to consider how much of a priority is exercise to you. So is it something that you want to put above other things? Can you realistically only fit it in 3 times a week, or are you willing to sacrifice other things to fit it in 5 times a week? So look at your life, look at what you can actually realistically do, and then schedule. So make sure you schedule it in like a doctor's appointment so that you can't miss it, okay? Try and do it early in the morning. I find that when you're a really busy person, maybe it's just me, if I leave it till 6 p.m, I'll have found some other piece of work that I need to do, and then I won't end up going. So if I do it... I
tend to exercise in the morning actually, because the last thing I want to do when I come back from a busy shift is force myself to go into a gym which is sweaty and full of grunting men, and it's just you got to wait for machines, and then you can't eat until 9, and
No, I definitely agree. Doing it first thing in the morning also avoids those excuses, If you just get it out the way, do it before your body realises what you're doing. Just wake up and go, and then it's done for the day. You've set yourself up on the right step. And also, I find that when you work out first thing in the morning, it does set you up for a positive day, because it makes you want to keep going with your healthy mindset. So it makes you want to eat well as well. So I think those are my top tips. So summary. So positive mindset is where it needs to come from. You need to schedule it in, you need to prioritise, you need to set specific goals, and you need to do it first thing in the morning.
That's fantastic.
Boom!
Boom! 5! All done! The epic 5 tips. One thing that really strikes me is the whole thing about positivity and setting your goals, because I get a lot of patients that come and see me in clinic, they're like, I want to lose weight, And I was like, okay, why are we losing weight? What is the ultimate goal? The ultimate goal really should be wellness, and I know that sounds a bit kooky, but actually the goals we want to try and encourage are things that are promoting your health, promoting your well-being, your ability to live life to the fullest.
Exactly.
And you have a ton of exercises that people can get involved in, right? In your book, Strong.
Exactly.
And recipes as well.
I actually talk a lot about resistance training in my book, because I feel like that's something which especially a lot of women neglect, because there's all these myths going around. You're going to get bulky, you're going to turn into the Hulk, this, that and the other. Actually, there's so many benefits for women. Correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like he knows all the sciencey stuff. No. But I think that actually if women do resistance training in some form, it doesn't have to be lifting heavy weights, it can be your Pilates, it can be whatever you want, ladies. But it's really important for you to do that because it actually helps to increase bone density,
100%.
which can reduce the risk of osteoporosis later in life, which us women are actually more prone to getting.
Yeah.
So it's actually beneficial for your long-term health to be lifting weights. Plus, it is so empowering. Yesterday, I was deadlifting heavy and I walked out that gym, feeling like a goddess. I felt like such a badass. I mean, that's why you should lift weights too, because it's so satisfying.
No, you're right. And I think it's great to see more women get into the gym and doing more weights because it does have those health benefits. It's something that we're taught from pretty much day one about osteoporosis and protection for women, particularly who are postmenopausal, have issues with bone density and osteoporosis. So those sorts of exercises that you're doing with weights or Pilates, all core strengthening stuff, stuff that you talk about on your Instagram, stuff that you talk about on your blog and in your book as well. I'm plugging your book massively.
Guys, it's only $5.99. Pre-order link down below.
Cheaper than a KFC. Not that you should be having KFC.
Don't buy KFC. Buy a kale salad in my book. That's what you need.
2-for-1 deal, tenner, done.
I mean, it's ingrained into me to promote it.
Okay, so one of the most inspiring things I find about you is that you're 24.
Yeah.
You've already got a book deal. You're a global ambassador for Adidas. Adidas or how do you say?
See, I say Adidas,
okay,
but I feel like you and then American people say Adidas.
The thing is, I've got a track record of pronouncing things completely wrong.
He has a weird hybrid accent.
Yeah, I do.
From all over the world.
Like, you know, American because I spent a lot of time there, and then Australia because I was there for 2 years, and then England, and then Essex, and then sometimes my Cockney accent comes out as well.
Then he says Adidas, so...
Yeah, I know. Like, you're already plotting your legacy. What do you want to look back on, and then, like, 10 years' time, what do you want to look back on and see that you've created? Because you're already doing amazing things for empowering women, creating a positive approach to fitness and exercise, and inspiring lots of people behind the camera on YouTube, etc. What is your legacy? What do you want your legacy to be?
These are some big questions.
I know.
I have a couple. So there's a few which I want to do solo and a few with Girl Gains. So with Girl Gains, I feel like it's just creating a global community and bringing women together. We're already starting to do that. So we have women who tag us and say that they've like literally made their best friends through the Girl Gains community. There's girls in Australia who met through Girl Gains events and now live together. It's literally mad. So
mental.
Doing things like that, that's my ultimate goal. I want to allow people to connect with like-minded women who can support each other and empower each other and push each other to be the best version of themselves. So that's ultimately the goal with Girl Gains, and the fact that that's starting to happen is already just incredible. And then through myself, it would say positively impacting women to get fit and get strong and to look after their body from a positive place. So make sure that they're doing it because they love their bodies, to encourage self-love, to encourage self-care, and to encourage mindfulness and to encourage self-reflection and people trying again to be the best version of themselves, not only physically but also as a person, as just a human being. So yeah, I'm kind of trying to broaden myself, not to be just about fitness, but also to go into mindset, because I feel like health is more than just the way you look or how you perform in the gym. It's also about your mind and how you think. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm covering all the bases, and I just want to have a lasting impact on women in those areas.
I think that is a great way to sum up this little chat that we're having. Yeah, that's brilliant, and that's super inspiring. I can't wait to see what else you next come up with. I know you've got some exciting projects that I can't talk about yet, but no, it's going to be amazing to watch you on this journey and hang out with you for brunch.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes,
yeah,
we definitely go for brunch, guys.
Definitely
Brunch addict.
Okay, so if you like this video, what should they do, Zanna?
Give it a cheeky thumbs up and subscribe to his channel.
And subscribe to Zanna's channel as well. I put all the links below, and a link to her book, and a link to the Girl Gains as well. And then check out the other two who are Tally and
Vicky.
Vicky, exactly.
Yes, their links as well.
And you can watch what they're doing all over the world and their huge global domination sort of aspirations as well, which is super, super inspiring. Great. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you. And
thank you for having me.
We will see you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy, spinning, clapping, laughing, dancing in the blackness of magic. Get it, have it, bag it, throw yourself on the